Thanks for staying with us. The parliamentary probe into cash receipt allegations continues today. Expatriates businesses who allegedly paid up to $100,000 to stay close to President Akufo-Addo during last year's Ghana Expatriates Business Awards take their turn before the committee to provide information concerning the allegations. Already, the committee has questioned the two minority MPs who made the allegations, that is, officials of the Trade and Industry Ministry and a leadership of event organizer Millennium Excellence Foundation. Now, these persons have appeared before the committee since last week Thursday. Now, on Monday, Ashim Morton, who is the CEO of the Millennium Excellence Foundation, described one of the documents tendered in as evidence as a fraudulent. Let's cross over to Parliament now, where Joseph Opoku Gakpo gives us an idea of what to expect in today's proceedings. Joseph, when are the proceedings starting and what will be going on today?
So the proceedings were expected to start at exactly 10 o'clock, but looks like things are delaying a little. Today we are expecting representatives from the various businesses who participated in the award ceremony. They are the people that we are expecting to show up today. From what we've gathered, invitations have been sent out to something in the region of 23 of them. We are still waiting to see what will happen. Let me speak to the spokesperson of the committee that's doing the investigation, the Honorable Yao Bwabia Samwa. Thanks very much for joining us. What can we expect today? In previous days, it's been marathon proceedings with either an individual or two. Will that be different today?
I hope if the expatriates turn up, it will be much quicker because we don't require too much information from them. But as you rightly observed, we had to do these marathon sittings because there's a time-bound situation that we are facing. The report has to be in Parliament early next week when we rise. Today, our expectation is that some of the expatriate companies who came to the event will turn up. And for them, their basic area is to determine whether or not they were coerced or forced into paying any money, and on what basis they were coerced or forced, whether the president's name was used to intimidate them or otherwise. But we are waiting to see how it goes.
So do we have specifics of those that we are inviting here? Have we gotten confirmation that they'll be here? What exactly is the situation as of now? We're supposed to start at 10 o'clock. How come we've not gotten it on yet?
We have invited several. We have invited many people. Unfortunately, several of them have gone abroad, but there are quite a few who have indicated that their schedule permitting, they will come. For reasons of their own convenience or otherwise. I will not mention their names, but we expect between 3 or 4 different companies or their representatives to at least pop up today.
Is there a possibility none of them may show up and then we may have to move on?
If they don't show up, I don't think our work will be damaged by they are not showing up. I think the essential elements of the task we were given more or less has been covered so far. And we have some evidence also. Yesterday, we received some evidence of a portion of them or part of them, a few of them, and their attitude towards the proceedings so far in terms of letters that were tendered to the sitting yesterday. So it will be up to the committee to evaluate whether or not they are not being physically present to give evidence detracts from the terms of reference in terms of fulfilling obligations per the report to the House. So far, I do not think that if they come, to be the icing on the cake. Yes, but we hope that at least somebody turns up.
Will you publicly ask them how much they pay to the foundation eventually for them to put out that figure? Because the foundation has insisted no one paid up to $100,000. We know some figures have been given to you in terms of how much was paid. Would you be ready to cross-check those figures directly with them publicly?
Obviously, if anybody turns up, one of the questions you ask is if the person paid money and how much the person paid and the circumstances which they paid. That would be the ambit of the questions. So, of course, once the person turns up, you need to know whether they paid and how much and the circumstances.
So you'll be finding out whether they were coerced or otherwise in terms of how they did the payment. Do you genuinely expect that if they were coerced, they will admit to that? Honorable Kujito Black, when he was here, made the point that to the extent that the monies were submitted to the Trade Ministry, it becomes a big brother kind of thing. Everyone is afraid if you don't go ahead and pay, then you may be intimidated to a certain extent, but it's not a direct thing. Do you really think they'll be honest with you about some of those reactions?
I use the phrase big brother, and you're trying to use Okujeto's analysis to elicit a view from me. I don't think I will accept that. It is our duty to ask questions related to the terms of reference. The terms of reference is wondering whether or not there was a levy, and we've all had a battle here over what a levy means, whether or not there was force or compelling reason. I think they are adult enough to tell us whether they were compelled or otherwise. I don't have to depend on Mr. Blackwell's, Honorable Blackwell's view of whether it's a psychological extortion or otherwise.
My final question would be, beyond today, what next?
Once the sittings come to an end, the committee will retreat and do an analysis of the evidence, including what the two honorable members came to say, Honorable Muntaka, Chief Whip, Honorable Okujito Ablakwa. The following day, the ministry, the Honorable Minister, and then yesterday, the organizers of the event will compare, just oppose, look at all the evidence that has been given to us and put it alongside the terms of reference and respond to the terms of reference based on the facts that we have elicited so far. So as I stand here now, I don't have an opinion on anything yet. That's why I'm refusing to be tempted by your analysis of what Honorable Kujito Ablakwa said. I at this point in time, none of the committee members is likely to be forthcoming on which way it will go. But I can assure you, we are going to sit back after the hearings and do a thorough job on the report.
That's fine. At this juncture, I'll put the brakes. I'll tempt you no further. Many thanks for joining us. The Honorable Yao Boabia Samwa is the MP for the Adentan constituency. He's the spokesperson of the ad hoc committee investigating the cash for seats scandal, as it's come to be called. We are still waiting for representatives from the expatriate business community to show up for the sitting to begin any moment from now.
Joseph, thank you very much for that report. We'll be coming to you if and when the proceedings begin today.